After sneaking into a superior's bedroom in the middle of the night to steal a ring of keys, Sister Mary runs to the locked gate and frantically attempts to unchain it so she can escape the convent as four hooded figures move towards her direction. Although she fails to fully unchain it, she is able to force herself between the gap of the gate and successfully gets out. Unfortunately, one of the figures is able to grab her leg and proceeds to break it, causing her to scream in pain and fall unconscious. She later wakes up inside a coffin with only a match to illuminate the interior, buried alive despite her desperate screams for help. On the day of taking her vows, Italian customs officials check Sister Cecilia's suitcase and briefly interview her. There, Sister Cecilia, an American nun from Michigan, confirms that the convent bought her the ticket and she's trying to learn Italian to adapt to her new residence. Deacon Enzo fetches her and drives her to a convent in a remote, picturesque Italian countryside. She is warmly welcomed by the Reverend Mother, with the unwelcoming Sister Isabel as her translator. Sister Isabel shows Sister Cecilia to her room, telling her about the convent and the other nuns in the process. Noticing how sweet and pure she is, Sister Isabel frankly tells her that life in the convent is physically and emotionally demanding and that she can still back out and not take her vows. With Sister Cecilia assuring her that she's decided, Sister Isabel tells her that her vows ceremony is at 17 o'clock in the chapel. Sister Gwen walks in on Sister Cecilia relieving herself in the bathroom, and they get acquainted with each other. When Sister Cecilia tells her that Father Sal Tedeschi invited her to join their convent after her parish closed because of low attendance, Sister Gwen sarcastically comments that he has a talent of sniffing out broken birds. She quickly apologizes, clarifying that she didn't mean to offend her and that she only thinks that maybe they're all head cases or runaways. During Sister Cecilia's vows ceremony, officiated by Cardinal Franco Merola, Father Tedeschi translates for her. Later, Father Tedeschi tells her that his first career is in the sciences, spending almost 2 decades in biology. She tells him that when she was 12 years old, she fell in the frozen Saginaw River and her heart stopped for almost 7 minutes. Convinced that God had saved her for a purpose, she turned to Christianity but is still searching what that purpose is. In a chapel that houses a Holy Nail relic, St. Helena, mother of Constantine, brought back from Jerusalem, Sister Cecilia finds a crying nun with a red cover on her face. Shortly after, Reverend Mother arrives and shows her the Holy Nail relic, carefully placing it on her palms. Realizing that the nail was taken from the cross on which Jesus was crucified, Sister Cecilia faints. Sister Cecilia wakes up in the middle of the night after having a nightmare, where a group of nuns with red covers on their faces, like the ones she saw in the chapel, hold her down and one of them stabs her stomach. She then sees a figure in her room staring at her, which disappears when she turns the light on. Sister Isabel mentors a group of young nuns, including Sister Cecilia and Sister Gwen, in several convent tasks such as taking care of the sick and dying nuns, hanging laundry, and butchering a chicken. For some reason, she looks at Sister Cecilia with a hateful gaze. When Sister Cecilia is about to sleep, Sister Francesca, an elder nun, visits her room and cuts her hair out of nowhere, shocking her, and calls her Blessed Saint Cecilia when she brings her back to her bed. She then discovers that Sister Francesca has cross-shaped scars on her soles. The next day, Sister Cecilia tells Sister Gwen about her encounter with Sister Francesca. After Sister Gwen tells her that she joined the order after leaving a guy who hit her, Sister Cecilia vomits and says she doesn't feel good, prompting her to see Dr. Gallo, the convent's doctor. While waiting to discuss her results, Sister Cecilia sees a nun with a red cover on her face walking behind the hanged laundry through the door's glass and is startled when a crow hits the glass. Facing Reverend Mother, Cardinal Merola, Father Tedeschi, and Dr. Gallo, she maintains that she's been chased, which Dr. Gallo confirms, saying her hymen was intact during her arrival checkup. When she notices Reverend Mother holding a red folder with her photo on it, she asks her what it is and Reverend Mother closes it and keeps it in a drawer. After an ultrasound confirms that Sister Cecilia is indeed pregnant, even though she is a virgin, Cardinal Merola declares that they have been blessed with a miracle. When the shocked Sister Cecilia questions why she was chosen out of all the women in the world, Father Tedeschi tells her that it's the reason behind God saving her. The convent's residents, except for Sister Gwen and Sister Isabel, begin to treat her as the next Blessed Virgin Mary, dressing her like her and making her stand at the altar as they express their faith. As Sister Cecilia vomits in her second trimester, she throws up one of her teeth. She is held in high regard and is told that her only job is to safely deliver the baby. While relaxing in a tub, Sister Isabel attacks Sister Cecilia, attempting to drown her out of jealousy angrily telling her that it was supposed to be her. When the other nuns arrive and take her away, she desperately screams that they have to try again with her. As Dr. Gallo checks on Sister Cecilia to make sure she and the baby are okay, she asks Father Tedeschi what Sister Isabel meant. Father Tedeschi explains that Sister Isabel's mental illness has worsened, and the fact that she's blessed with a miracle triggered her, and he promises her that she will not be harmed again. When she demands to go to the hospital and see another doctor, he argues that Dr. Gallo is a perfectly competent, licensed obstetrician and convinces her that it's safer to stay in the convent, keeping the news for themselves until the Savior is born. While Sister Cecilia is walking through the cloister, she sees the nuns with red covers on their faces again, as if keeping an eye on her. Shortly after, Sister Isabel jumps off the convent's roof and dies. Suspicious of the recent events, Sister Gwen urges Sister Cecilia to speak up. When Father Tedeschi tries to address her concerns, she chastises everyone, especially the convent superiors, for not questioning how Sister Cecilia got pregnant and acting like Sister Isabel didn't just die. She calls him out, saying she knows when a man is lying to her, but he and Deacon Enzo forcibly take her away. In the middle of the night, a painting of the Virgin Mary in Sister Cecilia's room falls, and she discovers 2 Corinthians 11:14 written on the wall behind it. She checks the Bible for its English translation and learns that it's, "For Satan himself often masquerades as an angel of light." She goes to Sister Gwen's room, but she is not there. Wandering through the convent rooms, Sister Cecilia breaks open with a knife the drawer where Reverend Mother placed her file and is shocked to find a newspaper clipping of her accident at the river. She walks towards the room where she hears a woman screaming and looks through the keyhole. To her horror, she witnesses a nun with a red cover on her face cutting Sister Gwen's tongue. Sister Francesca appears and covers Sister Cecilia's mouth, silencing her. She gives her a cross made out of hair and calls her a saint. When Sister Cecilia begs her to help her leave, her kind and gentle stare turns bitter, and she tells her that she will never leave the convent. The next morning, Reverend Mother and Father Tedeschi are awakened by Sister Cecilia's harrowing screams, and they find her severely bleeding in bed. Since Father Gallo isn't around, they have no choice but to drive her to a hospital. En route, Sister Cecilia continues to scream in the back seat while looking out the window, searching for an opportunity to escape. At the convent, while reverently praying in Sister Cecilia's room, Reverend Mother discovers a butchered chicken under her bed. She calls Father Tedeschi, informing him of Sister Cecilia's deception, and Father Tedeschi asks Deacon Enzo to stop the car. Realizing she's been caught, Sister Cecilia runs as fast as she can, but Father Tedeschi and Deacon Enzo catch up to her and forcibly bring her back to the convent, where Reverend Mother reprimands her. Bound in a wheelchair, Sister Cecilia is taken to the Holy Nail Chapel, where Father Tedeschi reveals to her that after taking a closer inspection on the nail, they discovered blood, tissues, and little fragments of bone on it. As cracking the genetic code is key to resurrection, he uses the DNA samples taken from it and his geneticist background to impregnate the nuns in the convent and produce a new Messiah. Father Tedeschi takes Sister Cecilia to his laboratory, where she sees numerous malformed fetuses from their failed attempts, while he tells her that it took them 20 years of trial and error. After leaving the field of genetics because some people disagreed with the ethics of his experiment, Father Tedeschi found support from the church as they understood that his experiment could bring them salvation. She tells him that he's playing God, which he denies, saying it's his calling and carrying the Messiah is hers. With the help of Deacon Enzo, Father Tedeschi brands Sister Cecilia's souls with a cross-shaped hot iron, a symbol similar to what she saw in Sister Francesca's souls. After getting wheeled into her room, she desperately bangs on her locked doors, screaming that they free her. In her third trimester, Sister Cecilia confronts Cardinal Merola in the confessional, saying their experiment is not God's work, to which he asks why God isn't stopping them if it is not his will. Reverend Mother assists Dr. Gallo as he does another ultrasound, and they're delighted that the baby is moving. When Dr. Gallo leaves to get Sister Cecilia's medication, Sister Cecilia sees an opportunity to escape. While Reverend Mother is busy being fascinated by the ultrasound, Sister Cecilia grabs a crucifix and beats her to death. Shortly after leaving her room, her water breaks. While the other nuns sing in prayer, Cardinal Merola smokes as he observes. Sister Cecilia strangles him with a rosary, and a shocked Dr. Gallo, who witnesses the crime, runs in fear. After stealing the Holy Nail relic from the chapel, Sister Cecilia heads to Father Tedeschi's laboratory, which she douses with ethanol. Father Tedeschi arrives and tries to talk her out of it, and proceeds to use physical force when she gets distracted by her contractions. A struggle ensues, which results in her locking him in his lab and breaking his finger, and she ignites the lab using Cardinal Morello's lighter. Unfortunately, Father Tedeschi manages to extinguish the flames and break out of his laboratory, forcing Sister Cecilia to flee to the catacombs, where she finds Sister Gwen's mutilated corpse. As she crawls through a hole on her way out, a severely burned Father Tedeschi pulls her back in and cuts her stomach open while praying. She grabs the Holy Nail relic and stabs him in the throat. Sister Cecilia agonizingly gives birth all by herself and is horrified by the sight of the baby, which is making gurgling noises. She bites through the umbilical cord, grabs a rock, and crushes the baby.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.